Now we'll watch a third role play. This is going to be active destructive responding.
Hey, hon.
Hey,
I've got some news about Liam.
what is it?
He made the travel soccer team.
The travel team. Mm-hmm. That's good news. It's good news, but it's also a lot of time. 10, 15 hours a week at least between the tournaments and the practices. That's a lot of time.
Gosh, I hadn't even really thought about the time.
Well, I'm worried because he just switched math classes. And with the new math homework and the time commitment to the travel team, I don't know where he's going to have all that time.
Oh, gosh. I think we're really going to have to rethink this whole thing.
All right. That style is called Joy Thief. Now, you probably picked up on a lot of things that Bob was doing in the way that he was communicating or responding to Mary about Mary's excitement over Liam. So one of the things Bob did is that Bob sort of pointed out all the problems, all the concerns, all of the downsides to the good news that Mary was sharing. And that's why we call it a joy thief. He was stealing her joy. His focus was pretty negative, right? I mean, he didn't get swept up in her excitement. In fact, what he did was he created negativity that kind of drained her of her positive emotion. He was certainly actively engaged in the conversation, but he wasn't mirroring Mary's excitement. He wasn't asking Mary questions. He was instead really pointing out all of the concerns, the downsides. You could think of it as like Mary was a great big parade and Bob was a nimbus cloud raining all over it. And how did Mary end up feeling? Well, she looked worried. So she went from joy and excitement and pride to worried. She said something like, I guess we need to rethink this whole thing. So by the end of that conversation, Mary wasn't feeling any closer to Bob, and she was also worried about what previously was making her feel excited. Okay, so let's think about this. Why is it that some of the times we are a joy thief with other people's good news? I know this is something that I absolutely fall into, this trap. Think about for yourself, what gets in the way of your being with the person? What makes you a joy thief at times? Some of the things that we hear are, I'm high on judgment and critical thinking. So when someone brings me good news, I can't help but look at it from all of its angles, and occasionally or often I see something that may be problematic that person didn't spot. Another thing we hear is, look, I have concerns. I see myself as that person's protector, or my job is to help that person stay safe. And so when they bring good news to me, because I view myself as their protector or their leader, I can't help but start to second guess things. Maybe it's that you want to help protect that person against disappointment. That's something we commonly hear. Like, they're all excited, but I don't want them to be disappointed. So I try to sort of, bring their expectations down a little bit. None of these things are coming from a place of meanness. In fact, I would argue that many of these things are coming from a really good place, a place of wanting to protect and support the other person. The problem is, when we're a joy thief, it creates animosity, it creates distrust, it starts to sever the connection that person has with you. So I want you again to think about what are some of the forces that lead to you being a joy thief at times with the people that you care about.